Okay, so this is gonna be a boss ranking for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice since I've done my big video. I'm joined today by my pal Connor.
Hey, I'm Connor.
Hey.
Office.
So for those who haven't seen my tier list or tier lists in general, all seven of you, uh, we're gonna review most of the bosses and the mini bosses, just not the ones that are like repeats of the same, like redundant. Um, we'll be focusing on the actual fight, obviously, the lore, music, like the combat, all that good stuff. We'll probably be a little bit kinder to the mini bosses since they don't have as much to work with. And we're not gonna bother with the inner ones because they're just extra little added guys.
Yeah.
So there's not much point. Do you want to start with a specific one, or do you just want to go alphabetically, or?
Yeah, just go alphabetically and just sort it.
That's fair. So the Armored Warriors first.
I
Uh,
don't remember too much about this fight. It's kind of just a gimmicky fight,
yeah,
so
but it's a gimmick I
it's not
like.
bad.
Yeah, you gotta push him off the thing. He says Robert.
He does. He has some lore,
He
so
does.
I think C tier is probably pretty fair because he doesn't do. It's a gimmick, but he's not an
Yeah.
annoying gimmick. It's just one you deal with. You're probably not gonna have to get annoyed by it.
He's
So
a nice little Dark Souls callback as well, because he's the only like Western guy in the big
yeah, that's
armor and the
true.
big sword. I like him, but there's not much to him.
Nah, not really.
Ashina Elite Jinsuke is next. I think this is the one just before you fight Genichiro with the where you get the big slash move.
Oh yes, yeah. I actually quite like this one. I think it's one of the. I think it's one. If I remember most of the fight, it's kind of simple, but he has one really quick move which can kind of force the player to nail parry timings just before a parry-centered boss.
Yeah, I
So like,
really like him because he has a really good like I guess risk reward where his really quick slash move he does can like one shot you at the time, but also his
yeah,
posture's really low.
yeah. It's basically the player's first hey learn parrying. So I think it's a good for a mini boss. I'd say
Yeah,
like B tier probably.
I agree. I was thinking B. I don't remember this one.
They're
Which
all kind of the same. All the Ashina elites. So
is he the same as the same move set as him?
yeah, basically.
I'll just leave that then. So we'll go with Blazing Bull. I don't think the Sakura Bull is on here. I'll check real quick. They're
It's
literally
but
the
they're the
same.
same fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, I think it's a nice change of pace for
yeah.
like it's a weird fight compared to what most Sekiro is, but its health pool is massive for what it needs to be. So you just do the same thing like 6 times before he dies.
Yeah, I think they did tone him down a little bit because I was quite surprised. Because I remember when I first played it, like first time, it was really, really hard. But I don't know whether it's just because obviously I played it before, but I was doing a bit of research, and I think they did either tone down his posture or his health pool a little bit. Because
Hmm.
I was surprised by like, in comparison, how much quicker he went down. But yeah, I feel kind of the same way about him as the Armored Warrior. I like the Armored Warrior more, but Blazing Bolt is kind of like a gimmick, and the gimmick is kind of inoffensive now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's notable because it's the fight before you get into the city proper,
Yeah,
but it just feels kind of out of place from when it happens.
I
So
personally say C because I don't think he's a bad, but like DT's, I'd say is probably for like the really bad bosses. But
yeah,
like,
I guess C minus. There's no
yeah,
minus, but he's
I'll,
back at the C list.
yeah, we can wait. We'll organize it before it's finished, but we'll stick him below the Armored Warrior for now. Now for the Corrupted Monk, do you want to include the illusion with him in general, or the illusion and him separately?
Hmm,
Because the
tough one.
illusion is kind of just him
It's
still, like there's no change
yes,
to him.
yeah. No, I guess they're just all one. They're not. There's not really much of a difference there. So
Yeah, hold on, let me find him. Where is he? It might be in T for True Corrupted Monk. Yeah, there he is.
yeah,
I really like this fight. It's very like, even for Sekiro, very parry heavy. But I like how you have to be really careful with like his like double-bladed thing he's got and like the timing of it.
I used to really like this fight. I think there's a lot more waiting in it for him to do attacks than there needs to be. He kind of jumps back and stands quite often.
Mm,
So I think B tier is probably pretty fair. Like it's a fun fight, but I think certain facets of it can kind of make it a little bit annoying.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'll put him in B, a bit above the elite guy, because I
Yeah,
do like him
yeah.
more than the elite guy. Demon of Hatred.
Oh,
I hate the
controversial
Demon
one.
of Hatred.
I love the Demon of Hatred.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
Red
so
Deadlock.
I'll say it right now. It is obviously just a Souls boss put in it.
Yeah, I have
But
a game theory that he was a Dark Souls 3 boss that they planned and they didn't get him done in time or scrapped it, and they were like, we've
nah,
got this left over.
there's too many in it that's like dodgeable by only the Sekiro like double jumps and stuff like that. It would feel weird if it was actually a Dark Souls boss. But what I will say in its defense of being kind of Souls-like
Yeah,
is that a lot of Souls bosses that are like the big beasts are really fucking annoying to fight because they're really annoying hitboxes and how they jank in the arena.
yeah.
I don't really remember experiencing too much of that of the Demon of Hatred.
The arena's fine, but I found when you get like going up close to him, like the camera gets really fucky, and that really annoyed me. I will say, I do love everything about the Demon of Hatred except the actual fight. Like I love its story, like
Yeah, yeah.
how it's the sculptor. I love his theme, I love his design. I just hate fighting him.
So I was gonna say A tier, but you hate it.
Do you know what? I will concede that I think he's not as bad as I think he is. Like, I do think he is a well-made fight. I just personally really dislike him. But I do like
I
you
think
can
he's
make
very
him.
out of place,
Yeah,
but I think the fact that he's out of place kind of works. It's so close to the end, so you've kind of nailed down the general like Sekiro playstyle, and then this Souls boss kind of comes out of nowhere and gives you one last, "Hey, you're not fully adapted to the game."
yeah. You know, I will concede and put him in A. I will
Oh
concede.
yeah.
Uh, Divine Dragon's X. The Divine Dragon is very much a gimmick fight, like a spectacle fight, but I really like it. The arena's so pretty. The design itself is like fantastic. Like
So
simple,
yeah,
like the fight itself is very simple. You know, just jump around and do the lightning,
yep.
but it feels like so good to play, in
I
my
think
opinion.
getting to the fight with the whole like traveling up to the peak through the village and getting to that fight, and it's very thematically interesting.
Yeah,
And it is a very pretty arena, apart from the fully smoky floor, which kind of has the Nameless King DS3 problem of when the floor is full of smoke, it's impossible to get a good sense of distance. So
that
while the
is
fight isn't
true.
hard in the slightest, you can get hit just because sense of scale is really difficult because there's no real floor.
Yeah, that I'll give you that, but in its defense, you're not on the ground a lot in the fight. You usually
No.
are jumping on from like those four pillars that you think is up for the lightning. You usually are like hopping around.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
So it's not like he was my favorite spectacle fight, but I think Rijkaard's gave him a run for his money because that is just a really good spectacle fight and also just a good fight in general. I'd personally put him in like A or B, but if you have a
I think B minus.
yeah, you know what, I think putting him between Corrupted Monk and the Elite is fair, personally.
Yep.
Next is Emma, and I am gonna count her as a separate thing because she is different enough from
Permission.
Ishin, yeah,
Yep.
in my opinion. Like, she does have, and I mentioned it in my video as well, I like she does have some moves that are the same as Ishin's because it's
She. Yep.
thematically appropriate because she was taught by him, but at the same time it's also teaching you how to combat those moves, so it is actually valuable to fight her.
Yeah. No, I think the fight itself isn't that interesting just because it's one you've done before
Yeah.
with a new skin on it. But thematically, it's quite interesting, and also she's there with you for most of the game, so
Yeah,
it can
she's
be.
like done nothing but help you. It's kind of sad that you're just like, I'm just gonna.
It's more just it's less a fight of like, hey, try and beat this boss. It's more a you have to realize the ending you're going for is just
It's the bad
immortal.
one. It's the naughty boy one.
Yeah, that's the bad one.
Uh,
So
I don't know where to put her. I'd say B or A.
I would say A tier just because it's not an interesting fight on its own, but like if you just had that single fight on its own and not in relevance of Ishin, it's still a fun fight.
Yeah. Should we put her above or below Demon of Hatred, do you think?
I'd say just below.
That's okay. I'll do Emma. Emma, I know you're real. I'd put you above Demon of Hatred.
Mm,
Hit me up.
mm.
Father Owl's next.
Oh,
I think this is true Father Owl. I will say I think this is S tier. I think this is
I
one
was
of the
going,
best
yeah,
fights in the game.
completely agreed. It is very Sekiro. It's quick and snappy, but everything hits like a ton of bricks.
Yeah,
You have
like
to be really aware of your surroundings because he has that like bird thing that flies around, so you're
yeah,
not just able to just focus on him.
like I already love Owl's like original fight, and it just
Yeah.
like it's just that, but even better and more stuff to it. So I don't have much to say in it other than just like it's really good. I think Sekiro's obviously best when it's like sword versus sword combat, and I think
Yep.
this is probably my personal favorite
Yeah. Yeah.
when it comes to
Definitely.
that. But also he has his cheeky little tricks. He's a little shithead.
Yep.
Next is Chained Ogre. I'm just
Uh,
gonna have Chained Ogre all in one. I don't really like Chained. I think he's funny. He does get funny points because he does do pro wrestling moves on you.
oh yes, he does. Yeah, he does.
But I can't really say
Um,
anything. He teaches
it's
you
it's
about
a whatever fight.
unblockables.
So my issue with it is, yeah, unblockables. He's kind of a funny fight, but as you can see in that image, the first time you fight him is on those steps,
Yeah, and
and
he
it's
can't just
really
throw
annoying
you
to
off
fight
the
any like.
edge.
Yeah, it's not even just throw you off the edge. It's really annoying to dodge like his attacks when he's attacking down the stairs because it feels like it'll hit you because you can't dodge as easily on stairs.
Yeah, it is really awkward if you
So
fight him
the
on the stairs.
So in general, I'd say they're kind of whatever fights, but the first one specifically can be really annoying, especially for like a newer player.
Yeah, I'd personally put him at like. I don't think he's bad. He is annoying.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's bad. I think he's like a pretty decent C. Like
I
there's nothing of note about him.
I'd put him at the bottom of C personally. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Shichimen warriors. Those are the ones with the orbs, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, they're kind of like the headless, but they use more magic attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't like them, but I don't mind them. Spoiler for
So
coming up. I hate the headless. I am not. There's one specific headless I
yeah,
really hate. The rest of them I don't like, but like they're just kind of there. This is the same for me. It's just kind of there.
yeah. I so my opinion of it's kind of the same as the headless opinion that I have is they're really annoying if you're the type of player like me that just wants to fight every boss as you come along them.
Yeah.
And the headless and the Shichimen kind of feel like you're supposed to come back later and like feel like you've grown from them.
Yeah, it feels like you're
So,
supposed to come back when you got the Terror God as well.
but yeah, but that just kind of means that either it's annoying as hell to fight or it's kind of just a stomping ground for you, and that's not fun either. As like a general fight to learn from.
Yeah, even like if you do fight them right away, usually if you've got Divine Confetti, they are just
Joke.
they
Yes,
get curb
complete
stomped
joke.
anyway.
Yep.
So I don't know where,
But
but I'd say either bottom of C or D personally, because I don't really think much of them.
Okay, I'm gonna say C just because of spoilers of underwater headless monks.
Yeah, okay, I'll put them at the bottom of C. I know it says first Shichimen Warrior, but I'm just gonna we're
Yeah,
just
they're all
gonna
the
roll
same.
them. Golden Screed
D tier.
Monkeys.
D tier. Get that
Well,
fight away.
they are funny monkeys.
They are funny monkeys. They can be kind of annoying just to find.
Yeah, no, they can be.
It's not a fight. It's just a butchering.
Yeah, I do feel bad. Like, at least in the valley with the big one, like the big group of them, like, at least they've got guns and swords and stuff. They're defending themselves. Like, they do hit you first. You're defending yourself. These guys are just hanging out.
Yep.
I feel bad. Like, they did nothing, but one just stands behind you, is like, "Hello, buddy." You just cut him down.
Yep.
I remember that. Is this the first general?
This is the one. This is the one that's on top of the stairs after Brazen Bull that you can completely avoid, basically.
Oh yeah, I remember this guy.
They're all kind of the same, all the generals. So
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of a ranking of all of them.
Yeah, let's
Because
just include all of them. I mean, I think they're fine. I do like ones that are more out in the open because you can choose whether you just want to, like, if you're mental, you can just go in guns a-blazing, or you can, like, pick off their soldiers and then go for them.
yeah,
Just-
I guess the fight itself's kind of interesting, but they tend to be in interesting locations.
Yeah, I'd personally put them in, like, the middle of C, like,
Yeah,
either...
I think above Brazen Bull, I'd say probably is the generals.
Yeah, that's good.
They can be kind of interesting. It's good to. I don't like avoiding fights, but I like the idea that some players can get away with it, but also that you can go about it multiple ways if you want to fight them.
Yeah. Now, Genichiro's here 4 times.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because obviously I think this is just when you fight him like the second time, and then obviously Tomoe is when he has that one phase lightning thing, and obviously you got the final boss version.
Yep.
Uh,
I would
changes
say they
before
are actually.
Genichiro?
So I would say we should do the final one Way of Tomoe, but also tutorial.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Just
start.
because the tutorial one's very easy, but I like the fact that you can technically beat them and you get a different cutscene for it. Like you
Yeah.
still lose, but
You
I think
could
that's
beat
I think
him.
that's a fun that even forced story points because
Yeah. It's also
I
fun for
think
like New Game Plus, because like I imagine I didn't know you could do
yes,
it New
that's
Game
what I
as
was gonna
well.
say is
And
that most people will struggle with it and die. Very few people are probably beating this the very first time they pick up Sekiro.
yeah.
But you're probably immediately going to jump into New Game Plus because it has multiple endings. So it could be fun to just realize that you can beat this.
Yeah, it's a nice little surprise. And like it's literally like the same, well, not the same fight, but he's very, very similar in terms like all his
Yeah,
attack patterns and stuff.
it's kind of a slower version of himself later on.
I'd say either bottom of A or top of B personally.
Well, top of B, I'd say, because
Yeah.
there's not much to him. He's more just thematically interesting.
Yeah. Now, did we say we're gonna
Just go for the final boss.
Yeah.
The final boss does all of it, plus.
That's true. I'll just put him there then. I'd personally put him at either top of A or bottom of S. Like I like that he's kind of well, he is kind of a rival to you. Like he's
Yeah.
very, very similar in terms of what you can do, except with his bow and arrow, which is just basically like his long-range shinobi tool, pretty much.
Mhm.
And he is one of those fights where it's like every time you die to him, like you can clearly see, oh, this is what I did wrong, and
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
does feel like every time you lose to him, you get better and better, and that's the same in the story. Like every
So-
time Sekiro comes across him, he gets
Yeah.
better and better.
I would say, as a on his own, he is S tier. There's two caveats after that, though.
Hmm.
The first time you fight him at the top of the city tower, a lot of people get really mad that there's just that you beat him and then you have to just do a lightning attack and then you win. I think that's personally fine because it feels kind of like a reward is that you get that cool flashy
Yeah,
attack.
you get the little spectacle at the end.
But the last phase of him as the final boss being just phase 2 again, but wait for the lightning attack can be a bit annoying.
I
So
mean,
I think that makes him
if you-
S minus for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you do go in like guns blazing with him, you can. I think you can beat him before he does his lightning moves, because
You can,
I've done that
absolutely.
before. Yeah. Um.
But because of that, it means that the phase is just the same phase again.
Yeah.
It's either the same phase again or
And like you're also
Back to
strong
me.
at that point. He is nothing, bless him. He's trying his best, but he is
yeah.
nothing on you. But like all of his fights considered, I think he's lower S tier worthy.
Yep.
Great Shinobi Owl.
Easy
Yeah.
S tier, I'd say. He's definitely lesser than Owl himself, but for the fight itself, I think it's pretty fun. Especially when it's early enough that it doesn't compare to the later fights. But at the point in the game, it's probably the best fight.
Oh, I definitely agree. And like Owl's a fun character. Like I like halfway through, he like bows down, like, oh no, I give up, and like he does loads of little things just to like play little tricks on you. He's a fun character, like to fight, and he's also a well-made boss.
Yeah,
Is he
definitely.
going above Genichiro or
Below,
do you think?
below, yeah.
That's fair. He's an Guardian Ape. Oh,
Okay, so this is a contentious one for me because I will admit freely, the first time I played Sekiro, I think I spent several hours on Guardian Ape.
I did. I know I did. Easily.
But when I go through on like New Game Pluses, not even New Game Plus, just like I play a new game from base, I completely wiped the floor with it.
Yeah,
Something in my brain clicked for me, and I went, I finally can just one-shot this fight.
Yeah, like, I think he is a well-made bot. He does have funny points, because he does throw poo-poo at you, and funny points are a very powerful tool here.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's just, like, he is very different from what you thought, because obviously, like, in this first phase anyway, because he's, you know...
I think his first phase sucks, because it is kind of just wait for him to be attackable, which means you have to play defensively, which is kind of against Sekiro. I guess it's to kind of throw you off kilter, like, you can't just be aggressive with a goddamn monkey.
Yeah.
But it makes it just run around in circles until he flings his poop and falls over and then swing at him.
Yeah.
But his phase 2 is really fun.
It is really fun. It's a really fun surprise as well. Like I never get tired of like seeing people's reactions on like a first playthrough of him like
I like,
picking up the
yeah,
sword after he's decapitated.
it
That
becomes like quite parryable, so it's
yeah.
kind of satisfying that you had to deal with the annoying bit,
And I
and
do
then
like that
it's
you can do a lot more posture damage by using the
yeah,
spear on his like where the centipede is and his like where his head was.
yeah,
That's
definitely,
that's fun.
definitely.
Only thing
So
I
I
don't like
think,
about Phase 2 is the terror scream.
yeah, definitely. I tend not to like any of that in any
Yeah.
Souls games.
Like I feel like if they're gonna do that, he should have a bit more build because he can just do it like instantly, and I really
Yeah,
don't like that. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints about Phase 2. His Phase 1
no.
is boring, but he does have the funny poo-poo points.
So I think
Um,
B tier is probably pretty safe bet. I don't know whereabouts though.
I'm thinking either after or before True Corrupted Monk, personally, or maybe
I,
below Divine Dragon, but I like his second phase a lot. So
I guess he's kind of equal with Divine Dragon, so it doesn't really matter for me.
do you know what? I'm gonna put him there. I'm gonna put him above
Yeah,
Divine Dragon.
yep.
Gyobu. I really like Gyobu. I think
I
he's
like
a
Yoba
really
too.
good first big. It could be him or Lady Butterfly, but I think he's a really good first like big boss.
I like that you can make. He's like the first time that you're probably trying to do Makiri counters on bosses, and he allows you to do that.
Yeah,
Because like I feel like Souls games suffer from they give you the parry shield, but it's really really not encouraged to parry like early bosses if you're new. But Sekiro is like, hey, you have effectively what parrying is in Sekiro, because parrying is so easy in Sekiro
yeah. You
or
got
Mikiri
parry and you got like
counters.
ultra parry.
Yeah, so Mikiri counter I think gives it a lot of points.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that even though he's on horseback as well, you can still reach him easily with the grapple hook.
yeah,
So it's not just a case of like you have to wait till he comes to you. You can like you have the choice to back off, but you can also
yeah.
get in really quick and like continue the fight.
The one
Um,
thing I will say that he suffers from, which weirdly Demon of Hatred I feel doesn't suffer from, is that because Demon of Hatred's so big in that arena, you can see everything he's doing.
yeah,
But his lance, in my experience, constantly gets hidden behind like those little walls and some corpse of bodies. It's like corpses and stuff, like the piles,
I
which
can
can be
see
kind of
that.
annoying.
I can't remember it being like a big issue when I played like in my notes,
No,
but
it's definitely
I could
not.
definitely see that happening though.
So I think
Uh,
it's pretty good for a first fight.
yeah, I'd personally put him at like the either the bottom of A or top of B. That's my
I think top will be
top of B. Let's put him there then. Headless.
okay. So I don't like the headless either. I
Me
really hate their
neither.
teleport, which kind of glitches the camera a lot.
Yeah,
But if they don't, it's kind of unfair thing. If they don't spam their super annoying attacks, they're fun. But that's an awful way to measure it.
do you know what it is? The first headless I fought in like when I was playing for my video, the one just before the Mibu village, I think.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
He just did that constantly.
yeah,
Like he did the other ones. They did it like occasionally, but not that much. Where like the terror can build off and like you're able to walk normally again, like when
yeah.
it slows your movements down. But that specific one just kept doing it over and over and over and
So
over again.
I'm fine for him to be like a D plus,
Yeah, I'll put him
just
above
because.
Folding Screen Monkeys because there is an actual fight here and
Yeah,
he does put his hand up your bum, so that's funny points.
yeah.
But
I just think the fight would benefit a lot more if FromSoft added in like attack cooldowns where they can't
yeah,
just spam the same thing over and over again.
I agree. Uh, Headless. I'm assuming this is the one in the
So
cave where it's the
yeah,
both
this
of
one
them.
where another one shows up.
Yeah. I like the Guardian Ape well enough. I think this is horrible.
Yeah,
It's
it's classic. Hey, you've learned a fight. Let's just add another one in and not design the game around having more than one enemy on screen at a time.
yeah, like these two. And it's the fact that they put these two massive creatures in this tiny cave.
Yep, it's
And
just it's taking a fight that I hated, grew to like, and then making it awful.
yeah. I'd personally say
Yeah, get
D,
rid of that. Get rid of it.
bottom of D. I think it's the fact that they had something good going, and then they just actively made it worse in every
Yeah.
way. It makes it more offensive
If it
than
was
the.
literally just Headless Ape on his own and maybe had another new phase, I think that would be equal
Yeah, it'd be
maybe even
fine.
better than the original. But it's just so much worse. It's definitely the worst monkey fight in the D tier.
Yeah. What's that? These are all the headless.
Punch the head.
Ishin Ashina.
Mm,
I like him. Obviously, he's not as good as Sword Saint, but
Yeah,
he's not meant to be because he's clearly like obviously that's a younger one when he's like is he
yep.
in his prime then? Because he's still old.
It doesn't feel well. If he is, it doesn't feel like it.
But this one, he's not in his prime. Like
No.
it's clear he's on his last legs. But the fact he puts up that much of a fight says something.
Yeah, I'm thinking an A tier. Like he's a fun fight, but it's kind of a lesser version.
I mean,
So
he's got to go above Emma because he does all of
thematically, yeah,
Emma's
yeah,
moves, and
yeah, yeah.
well, I'd personally put him above the Demon of Hatred. But do you think he's better than Demon of
I
Hatred?
don't. I think they're
I'll
pretty equal.
I'll leave him there then. That'll do for him. Who is next? That's Corrupted Monk. Headless. The Drunkard. The Drunkard. Juzel the Drunkard. I'm just gonna include the both times you fight him because it's the
Yep,
only difference is this that NPC is not with you the second time.
yep.
I, I don't mind him. Like I think he's fine. I don't know why, but I just think he's a funny boss.
He's funny, but there's no substance at all to him.
Yeah, like I get.
He could be like copy pasted like 8 more times in the game, and I wouldn't even notice.
I'm pretty sure he is copy pasted like 3 more times.
He definitely has multiple times, but that's the thing is that he's so forgettable as a fight.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like high D, low C.
I don't think he's a bad fight. I'd personally put him.
He isn't fight. He isn't a bad fight. He's there, and
Yeah.
in a game with a lot of really good fights, he is there.
Yeah, I'd think bottom of C is fair for him.
Yeah, sure.
Sword Chain. That's so hard to say.
Short Shane.
Sword Chain Ishin. Now this is
Love that
Ishin in
fight.
his prime.
Love this fight.
I love it as well. Uh, the lightning at the end. I mean, I think that's fine because they were going to use that for the end because it's the big like spectacle in terms of combat.
Yeah.
Sometimes his lance phase is a bit weird though, because sometimes he can just choose to not go in it when you take down his first bit.
Yes.
And then whenever
yeah.
he pulls it out, you like I don't think there's a way to like it does a bit of damage, but it stuns you quite a bit. So that leaves you open to like getting hit more, which I think is a bit unfair. But that's like my only real complaint, especially like this time.
I think pretty run of the mill S. Good fight. Not really too much to complain about.
Yeah, I think he's got to go ahead of Genichiro, but I prefer Owl like way more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm surprised by like because I remember the first time I ever played Sekiro, it took me like a solid week of trying to beat Ishin. I don't know why. It was.
I think I struggled with him. I definitely struggled with Guardian Ape more than Ishin, but I do think I for some reason struggled with it a lot. But like, I took like 2 years off of playing Sekiro, decided to go back and play it, and I'm pretty sure I one-tried him, so I don't know what was up with me the first time I played him.
I know what was up with me the first time, but like the latest playthrough I did, I beat him in like less than an hour, so I was proud of myself for that. Lady Butterfly, I think she's also a really good one. I like that you have to, well, not have to, but the shinobi tools, especially the fireworks and the shuriken, really help like offset a lot of like more damaging moves, and the snap seeds obviously for her illusions. She's just cool. I just like her a lot.
I think my issues with I really like the fight. My issues with are I have that kind of thing where I get to a boss fight, I don't want to turn away and come back later. You only get like one snap seed if you're doing that, so it's essentially just not there, and you won't have many abilities yourself. Which can make some of the attacks annoying. And I think some of her overhead attacks where like she jumps really high can give really weird camera angles. Because it's not just she jumps up and slams down immediately, she has like a swing forward.
She sits on first.
So it can be kind of annoying to dodge that attack.
Yeah, it can be, but usually when you throw the shuriken, she'll then like fall off.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad. But when she actually gets that attack off, it can be really annoying.
I think it's a really satisfying fight for parrying as well. So I'd say like high B, low A.
I'm comfortable putting her at the bottom of A. I think especially for like more than likely your first boss as well, like big.
Definitely, yeah.
She's really cool. I'm trying to remember what the Lone Shadows. Oh, they're the purple guys, aren't they?
They are, yes.
Should I include all of them in one? Because I know they have a couple of different weapons they can go with.
I don't think the weapons changed too much about them personally. They kind of just feel like the amped up versions of the generals.
Yeah, like I think they're fine. They're also one of those where like I don't have any real opinion on them. Like I don't think they're bad at all. I think they are like fine fights. They just feel
Yeah,
like souped up versions of regular enemies, which is just kind of what they need to be,
I
and they
like
do
that.
that
There's
well.
one in the cave that you fall down at the very start of the game when you go back
Yeah,
to it.
he's just vibing there and he jump scares you. I'd
Yep.
say personally probably put them like above the generals because they are very similar,
Yeah,
just a bit
I would
more to
say.
them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we'll just include all of them in that. I like these. They're also one that's very parry heavy, like even for Sekiro.
yep.
Um, but I do
You
like that
basically, you
that is
basically
the
just
way to beat them.
spam the button. I think it's a whatever fight. It's one of those fights. I remember the first time I saw one of them, I was like, "Crap, this is going to absolutely demolish me," because it's just very intimidating looking.
Oh yeah, I love
And
the
then
design.
it feels very difficult that you're parrying so much, but then you realize that the parry timing is like so generous because they're spamming their attacks. So it can be kind of a rewarding first fight, and then you go, that's how you do it, and then you basically treat them like they're just a random enemy because they're so simple.
Yeah, like the first time you fight them, they are very like I feel like they are very different to anything you come across like
Yep,
at that point. But then afterwards, it's like okay, you only just parry and then hit them a couple times, and
they're
you're
probably the first enemy that you'll come across. It's like very very aggressive,
yeah.
but they're really easy to deal with.
I like them well enough. I don't know where
Yeah,
I'd say like top of C or bottom of B personally.
yeah, I'd say like top of C, maybe just below Armored Warrior or something.
Uh, do I like Armored War? I do like Armored Warrior more. I'll put him there. Miss Noble.
It's,
I
he's
love
there.
him. I love how pathetic he is.
He does, yeah,
You
yeah.
literally just
He's
jump in
there.
his little gaff, hit him twice, and he dies.
Yeah. So D tier,
Yeah,
obviously, but at top of D tier,
yeah, I
he's
agree. He gets funny
out of
puns.
all those fights, he's not a fight. So you have to just let him. He puts up the defenses he can.
Yeah, he makes the fog. He makes like the area look pretty with the fog. It's very
He
Silent
does,
Hill
yeah,
coded.
and it does give a good reward of you can see more when you kill him. So
Yeah,
it's not a fight, but
it's
it's more the getting to him.
yeah. Oh, I remember this guy. So this is the guy who kicks lightning at you, like the balls that then turn into
Yeah,
lightning.
they jump up and then they throw them. Yep, they're kind of fun.
Yeah, like he has the same problem as Miss Noble to me, just not as like badly. Like he is a pain in the arse when you're trying to like explore the Fountainhead Palace, but once you actually get to him, he is extremely easy to take down. But he
Yep.
does put up a bit more of a fight than the Miss Noble does, so I'd say like bottom of C is good for him.
Yeah, because he's not a fight. He just kind of makes exploring a little bit annoying. So,
Yeah, he's an
eh,
environmental hazard for the most
yeah,
part.
basically.
Over the water. I like
So
the setup to her.
I struggled with her quite a lot
Me
on my
too.
first playthrough, but I think she's actually quite she's aggressive, but not in the same way that the centipedes are, where she's aggressive, but she has the actual parry timing, so
Yeah,
you have to pay attention to that. So I think that's kind of like the okay, you've dealt with parry, you've dealt with aggressive enemies, now do both.
yeah. I do like her. I feel like she's very unique among I like just everything about her is very unique. Like you get a little bit of setup before you actually like get to
Yeah,
her, and like for a mini boss that is quite rare.
yeah,
Yeah, and like
yeah.
you said, the parry type you do have to be like you can't just spam parry. You have to be careful with like the timings and stuff.
I think she's one of my preferred mini bosses, so I'd say like high B, low A.
Yeah, me too. Should we put her below Genichiro or Gyobu? I feel like
I,
around here is good for her.
yeah, definitely. I don't know. I don't think there's too much.
Do you know what? I'll put her below Genichiro. What's next? We already talked about the bull and the chained ogre and the Shichimans. Oh, the seven spears. I remember these guys.
Hmm.
Um, I feel the same way about them as like the generals. Really, they serve the same purpose. They are just basically
Yep.
souped up normal guys, but with a spear instead. So like,
So
they,
I'd say around where the generals are. Personally, there's
yeah.
not much to say about them.
I think, because I do like, I just prefer like how enemies handle the sword more to the like a spear.
Yeah.
Um, so I'd say below them's like a good spot. Like they are fine. They do what they're made to do, but there's no
Yeah.
else to them really. Um, okay, what's next? Seven spears. What are the Red Guard guys? Are they the ones that invade the capital?
Yes, they are.
Ah, okay. I remember these guys. Again, I feel about them the same way as the
Yep.
generals. They're
They're,
just
they're
souped up, more souped up normal enemies. Um,
yeah. They have quite a lot of unblockables and Mikiri counters though, and I like that.
yeah, I'd personally put them at like the top of the big buff normal enemies because there is more to them. But
Yep. I would say so too. Yeah, they've got some fun to them.
yeah, I think he is appropriate. I do like the centipede guy more than
Yep.
him. The Shinobi Hunter.
These are the ones that kind of jump back and throw shurikens, if I remember right.
Oh yeah. I don't have much of an opinion on these guys either
They,
because
yeah, no, these are all very. They're there.
yeah, but at least they're all like specializing in different things, so it's just that yeah, they're
Around
big
there. I'm
normal
not. I
enemies.
honestly have no opinion. Plop them somewhere. I don't really care.
I'd say about here is fine for them.
Yeah, sure, fine by
Yeah.
me.
The Snake Eyes. I'll just
Okay,
include both of
okay.
them in one.
No, I'm not allowing that
Oh,
because
okay.
I think the Snake Eyes bosses are like they're kind of a tricky mini boss.
Yeah.
They're kind of fun. Snake Eyes Shirafuji, I'd say, is like a low B, maybe high C kind of mini boss.
Yeah.
Uh, Snake Eyes Shirahage, however, is in an arena with like 7 long range gun enemies,
Oh, yeah, and Poison.
and he is the most annoying thing to fight in the planet because dodging those guns while fighting him can be annoying, and the boss is substantial enough that it's not impossible that you die to him. So either you deal with the guns while fighting him, or you clear them out and then maybe die to him and have to do that every time.
I forgot about that and the fact that you have to not be standing on somewhere that's poisoned.
Yep.
So,
So
yeah, that's fair.
Shirafuji is a decent fight. I think it's a fun mini boss.
Yeah, did we say top of C or bottom of B?
Top of C, bottom of B.
Do you know what? I want to put the bottom of B because I really like the, because this is where you fight him in the snowy area, and I
Yeah.
like that you do have to like go to different platforms like quite a bit in that fight.
Yep.
But the other one, yeah, he's just.
D tier. I'd say he's
Yeah.
one of the most annoying fights in the game.
Where do you think we should put him?
Oh, I don't know if I hate him more or less than Headless Ape.
I hate him less than Headless Ape personally.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you can kind of not avoid him, so.
Yeah, but the folding screen monkeys do have funny points over him because
Yeah,
he's just
definitely.
really annoying. Who is? Oh, that's the That's the drunkard in the
It's just the drunkard
Mika
and the mist.
village.
Yeah, there's
Leader.
nothing to.
Okay, and this is the
You
last
know
guy,
them.
leader. I think he's got a pretty similar moveset to the sword generals.
Mhm.
But I'd say it's a bit better than them because he is introducing like the unblockables and stuff like that. Because you don't
Yeah.
have Mikiri counter at that point, so it
No,
does
yeah,
kind of
I think
teach you to pick and
it's a
choose
decent
your
fight.
moments. It's a really good tutorial fight, but just you
That's
fight so
about
many
it.
of the
Yeah.
same like moveset, he just kind of becomes whatever. So I'd say like above the generals because he is teaching you
Yeah.
something new.
The only thing is, because they're named, we've missed a certain subsection of the headless. So pick one at random, and that's going to represent the underwater headless fights, which suck.
Oh, I know he is Ungo. I
That's
remember
yep, we see
him.
that. So
Yeah,
these fights are just spam the dash button and take a swing and
Yeah.
hope that it doesn't clip you, and that's the fight.
yeah. I don't know where to put him. Like, it definitely
D
did.
tier.
Don't get me wrong, but it's just
Probably above Snake Eyes, just because the fight itself isn't that annoying. It's just
yeah, it's just nothing.
yep, there's no substance.
Do you know what? I think that's everyone. I think that's everyone who's different enough. Like, all these guys are just like.
Yep.
So.
They're all the same at that point.
So should we have a little look at them before
Yep.
deciding? So let's start with D tier. So we've got Headless Ape at the bottom, Poison Snake Eyes, Underwater Headless, Folding Screen Monkeys, Headless Akko, Miss Noble. I'm very happy with all those.
I'm happy with it, but part of me wants to say that actually put headless, put the folding screen monkeys at the top of D tier because I don't think they should be grouped with the rest of those crap fights.
I agree with you.
They are with Mist Noble. Them and Mist Noble are D plus, where they're not
They're
bad
D+
fights. They
hanging
aren't
out.
fights.
Yeah. You know, that's fine. These are the poo-poo stinky, and these are nothing, but also
Yep.
a little bit funny.
Yep.
Okay, we got C, the Okami leader, the football lightning guy.
Yeah.
We got,
Environmental. Who cares?
yeah, the drunkards, the Shichimen warrior, the chained ogre, blazing bull, the seven spears, the sword wielders, the named sword wielder, the shadows, the shinobi hunters, the red guards, the centipedes, and the one-armed warriors. That's you, armored
Nope.
warrior, armored
Yeah. No.
warrior.
I don't think there's too much to mess around. I think they're all pretty equal. So
Yeah,
there's not much to say about any of them. I think armored and giraffe and and the long-haired centipede are definitely like the
that
higher of
the
those.
C plus of them, because
Yeah.
most of these are just like either tutorial guys or souped up normal enemies. Like they
Yeah.
don't really
They're
do.
they're not really mini bosses. They're just to
Yeah,
stand out in the waves of generic enemies.
yeah. So I think that's fine.
Yep.
B, we've got Snake Eyes Shirafuji, Inusuke, the Ashinura slash the Ashinura Elites, Divine Dragon, Guardian Ape, True Corrupted Monk slash the Illusion, Arena of the Water, Tutorial Genshiro, and Gyobu. I think these are perfectly fine.
Part of me wants to move Jinsuke above Guardian Ape just
Really?
because I think Guardian Ape is better as a fight because like obviously it's a boss fight.
Mm.
But I have walked away from Guardian Ape after beating it just annoyed. I don't think I've ever walked away from Jinsuke being like that was an annoying fight. I feel like I've always like learned something whenever I fought him.
Um, do I like Janiska more than Guardian Ape? You know what, I do. I will agree with you on that. I'll put him.
It's a good like if I've just started the game again or the first time I played, get that timing down. Cool. I'm in the flow of Sekiro now.
Yeah. No, that's fair. We'll put him there. I think everything else is fine.
Yep.
Okay, so A, we've got Lady Butterfly, Emma, Ishin Ashina, and Demon of Hatred. You know how I feel about the Demon of Hatred?
Yep.
I think objectively, fair enough, he's fine. I just personally hate him. I'm kind of thinking Lady Butterfly should go above Emma a
I think
bit.
so too. Yeah.
Because, like, Emma's all well and good, but she's only, like, one
She's
phase is
she's
not
there she's
cutting
there
to her.
thematically more
Yeah,
than anything
thematically,
else.
and to prepare you for, like, Ishin Ashina's big moves.
Yep.
Like, she's got the big grab and a couple of other things that he does.
Yeah.
Whereas Lady Butterfly, there's more, uniqueness to her.
Yep.
That's fair. And then at S, we've got Great Shinobi Owl, Genichiro, just in general, Sword Saint Ishin, and then Father Owl at the top. I think this is fine. I don't think
Yeah.
this needs
Perfect.
to move.
As
So
long as I was at the top, I'm happy.
me too. You know what? That that was my thought going in. As long as Owl is the best, I'm not too fussed about anything else. So Owl is officially the best boss in Sekiro.
Yep. We're the first people to ever say that.
Yeah, this is a very controversial opinion. You heard it here first.